Hi everyone, this is Miss Fern. Today we're going to talk about Peter. He was one of Jesus' closest friends, and Peter talked to a really large crowd in the book of Acts, chapter 2. Now, Peter and his brother Andrew were fishermen, and Jesus called them to follow. And they left their work and followed Jesus right away. They were the first of the 12 disciples. And they went with Jesus while Jesus healed people and told them about God's love and everything that they needed to know. Peter loved and believed Jesus so much, and he was always really quick to show Jesus how much he loved and believed in him. But Peter also was anxious and got scared easily. Once they were all on a boat, all the 12 disciples, and it was nighttime, and Jesus came to them out in the water. Jesus was walking on the water. The disciples were really scared, but Jesus told them it was him and not to be afraid. And then Peter was the one that said, Jesus, let me come out to the water with you. And so Peter did that. He walked out on the water. And he was fine until he saw the wind and the waves, and he got scared and started to sink until Jesus helped him again. Later, after Jesus had been arrested, Peter was scared. And 3 times he told people that he didn't know Jesus. He pretended he didn't know Jesus. But something changed. After Jesus died and rose again and went to heaven, he sent the Holy Spirit to the disciples. And the Holy Spirit gave them confidence and power. And so that very first day, when the Holy Spirit came, a large crowd came to see what was going on. And it was Peter that stood up with his friends to talk to the crowd. There were so many people from so many different countries. Peter had to shout so that everyone could hear him. But the Holy Spirit gave him the power to do that. And the Holy Spirit gave him the right words to say. He reminded them of all the good things Jesus had done, and even reminded them of things they had learned about when they had studied the early scriptures. Well, 3,000 people believed Peter and became followers of Jesus that day. Peter shows us that we can speak up when we feel strong too, and the Holy Spirit can help us. And the Holy Spirit's for us when we believe in Jesus. If someone asks me about my faith, I know that I can ask the Holy Spirit to have the right words to say, and I can have confidence in that. When I'm working on one of these messages or videos for you, I always ask the Holy Spirit to help me have the right words to say for each one of you. Now, something that people are talking about a lot right now is how we can be kind to one another, how we can treat each other. And this is really important. Jesus said that we should love one another. We should love our neighbors as ourselves. And Peter promised the people that the Holy Spirit was for everyone that believed in Jesus. And Peter had so many people there in that crowd from so many different countries, in so many different backgrounds. So if we treat someone differently because of where they're from or their skin color or what they look like, that is racism, and Jesus does not want that. Jesus wants us to stand up against that. So I have 2 challenges for you today, 2 activities. One is to remember how you can do something that maybe you didn't think you could. Did you ever try to remember some time when you did something, like the first time you rode a bike, or maybe you made a basketball hoop, or did a math problem you didn't know you could do? It might have taken practice, but you can do these things if you keep trying. So the first activity is to set up some sort of challenge for yourself. If you can, come on outside and maybe you can set up some pieces of wood and you can walk across them like a balance beam, or you can draw a line in chalk on your driveway. Maybe you can set up some buckets or boxes and see if you can toss some rings or balls in them. And maybe you have some other boxes. You could set up an obstacle course or make boxes to crawl through. or jump over. The second thing that I have for you is an art project to help us to remember to love one another. So it looks like this. And the first thing we need to do is to cut out a heart. And I happen to have some red paper, but you can use any color paper and you can color it afterwards if you want. When I want to make a heart, I take a piece of paper and I fold it in half, and then I draw a shape on it that's kind of like an ear. Looks kind of like this. And then I cut that out and I make my heart. Next, oh, and the heart is going to be represent Jesus' love and the Holy Spirit. Next, take another piece of paper and cut out a circle. Let's see here. You can trace your circle or just draw it freehand. Draw it and then cut it out. And then I want you to color your circle. The circle is going to be the world. So let's fill it with lots of different colors for lots of different people in the world. Once you have it all together, all the pieces, you can glue them together. And I even put mine on another piece of white paper so I could hang it up. Find some place good that you like to put this to remind you of God's love and that Jesus' love is for everyone. Thanks for being here today. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon.